That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Noble Gold Investments is pleased to let you know that gold is the best investment in the year 2022. According to the longtermtrends.net, gold has actually outperformed the S&P 500, the Dow Jones, and Bitcoin for the year 2022. Had you invested in the S&P 500 a year ago, you would have been down 20% of value. Had you invested in Bitcoin last January, you would be down 65%. And if you invested in the Dow Jones last January, you would be down 10%. But if you had invested in gold, you would have been positive about 12%. And this is the year they expected to even go higher. While the world was busy hailing after other assets as the real hedge, gold and silver are the only assets that would have protected your wealth. So join the thousands of others by opening a gold IRA or silver IRA with noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. And if you do it before the end of this month, they will bag you a free 1/4 of an ounce American Gold Eagle coin with every qualifying IRA of $50,000 more. Here it is. This is 1/4 of an ounce pure gold American Eagle coin. Amazing. You wouldn't believe it how heavy this thing is it's just unbelievable. But yeah, it's 1/4 of an ounce, and it's gold, and it could be yours for free. So while you're investing, you're rolling over that 401k or investing some of your savings into gold IRA, protecting your money, actually, and it will grow, it will expand, you will grow your money instead of losing it in these other areas that's been happening to the people for some time now. All right.
Check out this article from The Guardian, which is a paper out of the United Kingdom. It's entitled, Losing Their Religion, Why U.S. Churches Are on the Decline. The article reads in part that churches are closing at rapid numbers in the United States, researchers say, as congregations dwindle across the country and a younger generation of Americans are abandoning Christianity altogether, even as faith continues to dominate American politics. As the United States adjusts to an increasingly non-religious population, thousands of churches are closing each year in the country, a figure that experts believe may have accelerated since the COVID-19 pandemic. The situation means some hard decisions for pastors, who have to decide when a dwindling congregation is no longer sustainable. But it has also created a boom market for those wanting to buy churches, with former houses of worship now finding new life. About 4,500 Protestant churches closed in the year 2019, which is the last year that data is available, with about 3,000 new churches opening. This is according to Lifeway Research. It was the first time the number of churches within the United States hadn't grown since the evangelical firm started studying the topic, with the pandemic speeding up a broader trend of Americans turning away from Christianity. Researchers say the closures will have only accelerated. Protestant pastors reported that typical church attendance is only 85% of pre-pandemic levels, while research by the Survey Center on American Life and the University of Chicago found that in the spring of 2022, 67% of Americans reported attending church at least once a year, compared with 75% before the pandemic. But while COVID-19 may have accelerated the decline, there is a broader, long-running trend of people moving away from religion. In 2017, Lifeway surveyed young adults that were aged between 18 years old and 22 years old. They had attended church regularly for at least a year during high school. The firm found that 7 out of 10 had stopped attending church regularly. About a quarter of the young adults who dropped out of church said they disagreed with their church's stance on political and social issues. A study by Pew Research found that the number of Americans who identified as Christian was 64% in the year 2020, with 30% of the U.S. population being classed as religiously unaffiliated. About 6% of Americans identified with Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, and Buddhism. In 1972, 92% of Americans said they were Christian. Pew reported that, but by 2070, that number should drop to below 50%, and the number of religiously unaffiliated Americans or nuns will probably outnumber those adhering to Christianity by the year 2070. While grandparents might have been regular churchgoers, their children would say they believe in God but not go to church regularly. By the time millennials came around, they had little experience or relationship with church going or religion altogether. And as always, if you guys want to read the rest of the article, there's plenty more to read. I'll put the link in the video's description. Wow, that's sad news here coming from the churches, right? Everybody get up and go to church on Sunday. All right, I'll see everybody on the next video.